let's have a chat. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I thought I would do a video just kind of going over the next few weeks for you, because honestly I knew uni life was going to be completely different. I just didn't quite expect it to be like this. And yes, I'm brushing my hair. I am gonna do just a few little bits to make me feel a bit more human in this video, because I can, and it's not a sit down video. But I thought I would just give you guys like the goss on, you know, how life has been kind of like the past few days, obviously since like the first video has gone up. For anyone wondering what I'm just putting into my hair, I've been putting in this, which has been saving my hair recently, which is the Wella Professional's Ultimate Repair Serum, which is just a leave-in conditioner. So I literally just put this in from my mids to my ends, and it just makes it so pretty. But yeah, I thought I would just tell you guys like the bits that like I was shocked about coming to uni, and for like anyone that is wanting to go to uni, like the kind of shocks that I had, because to be honest there was quite a few. First one is essays. They don't teach you how to do essays in university. You're just kind of thrown into the deep end and just kind of expect to know how to do it. I mean, I'm doing obviously a foundation year for my degree, and I thought they'd kind of give us a bit of like this is how you do an essay for like people that have like never done them before, because I've never done essays. Because I pretty much what happened is I went into work after a year of doing college, and when I was doing college I was doing a pre-T level and didn't pass maths. I couldn't do the T level, so I went and did an apprenticeship instead, and because I didn't do A levels I didn't have essays and things like that to do, so it's completely different. But yeah, you kind of at university you kind of thrown into the deep end of being like this is how you do, you have to do essays and then citations with your essays and having to learn Harvard referencing and things like that, which for me has just been like what but yeah. And one of the things that like it's thrown me off, but like not completely, is like my uni timetable. Now I think most universities are like this, I know for definite mine is, but pretty much every 2 weeks it's like a copy and paste. So you do 1 week, you have week 1 and then you have like week 2, and just like looking at the essays, looking at my timetable and stuff, I'm like, what? Oh, what do you mean? Like, I have an hour break there. What do you mean I've got this then? And things like that, which is crazy. And things that like looking at like my university timetable and stuff, like there'll be times when I'm like in one building and then like an hour later I'm in another building that's like not even 5 minutes away, like it's not even like 2 minutes away, it's literally like the building nearby. And it's just insane. Like I get they're gonna give us a break for like lunch and stuff, but like I don't know, just kind of threw me off. Kind of just threw me off. And also another thing that kind of like, it didn't shock me, it just kind of like, at first I was like, huh? And that is the difference between lectures and seminars. Like I don't know if like people generally know the difference, but if you don't, like I'm just gonna give you kind of like a brief of it. And workshops as well. Like I've had workshops, I've had lectures, I've had seminars, I've also had oral exams, which I'll get into. But your lectures is where you're gonna learn like the most of your information. Like if you have a lecture, it's normally going to be a case of like, you're learning this, here you go. And then like that's the kind of stuff. I mean, stuff in lectures and seminars will probably be used in like your essay or your exam or things like that. But yeah, and then your seminar is kind of, especially for me, has been my sort of like debate time. So we kind of have like our debates and stuff. I know for me, because of the readings I've had to do this semester, we've just finished our last reading for the year, which was Little Women. In our seminars for them, we literally sit there and just talk about the book and then discuss it, and then all of us go and like break off into little groups and talk about it and things like that, and it's just great. It's just great. And your workshops are kind of a massive group discussion, like you kind of get loads of information, really is the best kind of way to describe it, is like you get given loads of information and you kind of adapt to it. For me, when I've had workshops, it's been one of my last workshop, which was earlier on this week. In that workshop we were talking about an essay which is due not next week but the week after, and we were like talking about like making sure we know how to do referencing, making sure we know how to do citations, making sure we're picking reliable sources and how to find reliable sources, and you know, the fact that we should use Google Scholar and things like that, as well as looking through the library and doing it so like you search a whole like wide range of stuff which is related to one topic, if that's like what your essay is on. I know at the moment anyway, I'm 500 words into a 1,250 word textual analysis. Textual analysis, can't say. A textual analysis essay on Charles Dickens, which is fun. It's one of the books I never read from him, which we are going over, which is fun. But yeah, and another thing that kind of shocked me at university is attendance, and there's so many things that like make sense, like if you're ill, don't go in. There's one person, I'm gonna wrap them out, I doubt they're gonna find this video because I don't have them on any social media or anything, but there's this one person on my course who has literally attended I think in the whole semester has probably attended like 3 classes. So yeah, but attendance wise it is important, like it is super important that you have your attendance, and also like if you're ill, like back when we had the pandemic, I can't remember if like YouTube, because beforehand YouTube used to do like violations if you said the word, so I'm not gonna say it, but when we had the pandemic, the thing we had the pandemic for, if you have that, like the flu, anything that's like contagious, they literally say like email us and like don't come in. Same as like skin conditions, because I'm gonna be real, and I am gonna say this because I haven't said it on like my other social medias like TikTok and things like that, but at university we have had a scabies outbreak, and when I say scabies, like the reason why I've been so hesitant to say it, especially on TikTok, is because of I'm not going to mention their name because I don't want to give them the clout, but one person that's pretty like has put herself in like the public eye and then talking about how she's had it. If anyone wants to know who I'm talking about, it's the woman that sings Defying Gravity really off key. There you go. Yeah, so like when we had the scabies outbreak and stuff, I mean my skin is still recovering. I mean I hate the way my skin looks at the moment because of this, but with scabies I like said to my lecturer like straight away as soon as one of my roommates said to me like we got cream for scabies because it's bad. I'm going like I had to like email my lecturer, well my personal tutor. If all universities have this by the way, but we have personal tutors, which is pretty much where like you get allocated like someone that is, so for me, because I'm an English literature student in a foundation year, I have the person that does the English lit for foundation year as my personal tutor. I'm assuming next year it's going to be someone that one of my tutors for English literature and creative writing. But I like to email her and say like, look, there's been a scabies outbreak and things like that. Like I know it's contagious. Like I'm not going to give it to you all. And she was like, yeah, no, please don't. And also as well, like they gave you like loads of tips. I say tips. They said that they give you like the normal recommended stuff that you need to do, which probably at some point I will do a video on, just kind of like the things that, because my skin used to look a lot worse than this, and this is like the past week it's really improved, although like I've got a small rash there which I know is a sweat rash from my Apple Watch, so I've not been wearing it, but also like at the moment my hands especially are going to be more scarred than any other place because I'm using my hands constantly, but arms are slowly healing. They're looking a lot better than they were, let's just put it that way. But yeah, no, honestly, if you're ill, like just message your lecturer and like, email your lecturer and let them know, and things like that. And other things that like kind of shocked me at university, and it's one of the debates like one of me and my friends have, and it's like the price of stuff in the vending machine. Cannot stress enough like the freaking prices. I think I'd have to like look at like the transactions on my phone, but like for a Kinder Bueno, like the little like 2-pack, if I remember rightly, I think it's like nearly like £2 for it, which as a university student, especially when obviously you get like your government funding and all that kind of stuff, and your student loans, it's just kind of like, what the hell? What the hell? What the helly? Same as like bottles of Coke and stuff. Like I've literally had it beforehand where I've gone to a lecture, and I've had like a break from my lecture, which I'll go into in a minute. Had a break in between, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get myself a drink and really get myself like a Kinder Bueno or like a flapjack, and it ends up being like £4 to £5 for like 2 things, and I'm like, that's expensive. And if I did that for every day that I was like in university, which is normally 3 times a week, I'd be spending £15 on just stuff in the vending machine, and that's only 6 items. And sometimes it'd be even more, because like I'll go to like the vending machine before I go to my lecture, and then I'll go like during my break, so I'm spending even more money, and it's just like, what? I feel like most people when they go to university will go and get stuff in the vending machines, because I know people on my course, people that I'm friends with, will go to the vending machine. Like if we've forgotten to bring a drink with us, we will go along and get a drink, and things like that. So yeah, and back onto like one of the other points, one of the points from our vending machine thing, breaks. Oh my goodness. For me, every week I have 6 hours of like, about 6 to 8 hours of me having 2-hour lectures or seminars, and in those lectures and seminars I'll have like a 5 to 10 minute break like in between, which is nice, because then it like means that like I can go get a drink, or I can go for a walk, or I can go to like the toilet, or like things like that, which is nice. Like you can actually like step out and breathe and like kind of like recalibrate your brain, and then go back in and be like, oh, I feel better now, which is nice. Love the breaks. There's times when like I'm like so like in the zone, and then it's like, oh yeah, we got a break now, and it's like, oh, when you come back and you try and get back into the zone, you just get back into the zone, and like class ends, and then I end up coming home and then doing the rest of it. But yeah, no, honestly, it first shocked me when I came to university, because like I was so used to like when I was in the year that I was at college, it'd be a case of like, you have like an hour here, like you have like 3 hours here, and in those 3 hours like you wouldn't really have a break. Not that I can remember any, like not that I can like recall, which was fun. But yeah, I was gonna say another point. Oh yes, with lectures, seminars, everything else, they all start at 10 minutes past the hour. Especially, I think it's all universities do this. 10 past the hour is when they start. And there's times I'm like rushing around and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be late because I've got like a 9 a.m. and it's like 10 to 9. And I'm like, oh wait, but like actually I've got 20 minutes until it actually starts. So it kind of eases my brain a little bit. But yeah, my biggest thing that kind of shocked me, well, one of the things that shocked me is, I could go like so deep into this, and it's going back into like previous points and stuff. Oral exams is normally like you presenting something. It could be, I know for me I've had 2 oral exams. One was a group presentation and one was an individual presentation. And oh my god, the stress of them. I mean, in the group presentation, like, is when like you really find out like who wants their degree, by the people that put in like the most effort compared to the ones that put in no effort whatsoever. It's like when you really find out like if someone's willing to put in the work and willing to actually contribute, which is fun. Yeah, there's just so many things that like shock me, and mainly just the essays part of it. And I think the reason why like essays are so on my mind is because after I've finished filming this, I'm going to work on my essay, probably edit it and then get it uploaded, which, yeah, it's just a whole thing in itself, like just essays. I'm gonna do like probably another, now just like giving myself things of like videos to do for it. One of the things I will probably most likely do is like do a video of like how I plan my essays, because when I'm doing my essays I have like a whole way that I do it, like which includes like the brief, how I plan, how I start writing and things like that, which I'll do a video on at some point, probably once I finish this essay and I start my next essay, which I get the information for next week. I'll actually get like my essay question, which is fun, or I might just start doing some more research for it in this kind of weekend, and then I can relate it to the question whenever I get it. But yeah, no, essays shock me, especially like the word count as well. Like, I use Google Docs, and normally Google Docs, it doesn't, like, Google Docs compared to Word, Google Docs doesn't like automatically show you your word count, so like you have to like toggle it so it shows your word count, and I like have it on and I'm like, oh okay, like I need to do this. And I always like on my laptop have like split screen, so one is my essay that I'm working on and one is like my brief notes that I've made, which typically like just has all the information that like I need for it. And yeah, it's just I go through and start, looking at the word count and then like picking bits from like the information that I've put on like my brief thing, which has all my research. start picking from there and start writing it, and I'm like always like referring back to like my word count, being like, okay, I'm at like especially at the moment, I'm like, okay, I'm at like 500 words. My essay needs to be 1,250 words. Okay, well, I have like this many more paragraphs that I want to include. Will that reach the word count? Probably. If not, I go through my essay and then I just try and bulk it out as much as possible. And by bulk it, I mean like using phrase banks and things like that, and just seeing where I can expand on my point and things like that. And yeah, with essays, God, I'm gonna do a whole video on it, and I'm gonna like make notes on the important things that I do for essays, as well as like citations and things like that, which is fun. Yeah, I'm just a university student that's just trying to get by. And this video has just kind of been like a all over the place kind of thing. Well, I thought I'd just sit down and have like a little chat with you guys, because I just haven't, but no doubt probably tonight I'll start making like a list of things for the essay, being like the essay video, and be like, right, this is what I use, this is what I do for this is what I do for that. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's been a whirlwind. If you guys haven't already, make sure to subscribe down below, as well as give this video a big old like. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have fun!